Activity 14 from the Hazelden Publishing ClassPad activities. Are we there yet? So we're going to look at using the program. So we're going to start by defining our function. So in the text we've talked about the function being, so do interactive, define, and we're going to call our function v of t, and the function was 100 minus 400 t minus 1/2 all squared. So defining it means we've defined it in main, which means that function is available throughout any of the applications within ClassPad. So we're going to start with the spreadsheet, which is trying to simulate what we might be doing in terms of estimating the distance. So we'll go to our menu, choose spreadsheet, and we'll start off by just doing file new, so we don't have anything there. And in terms of creating that spreadsheet, we're going to start with some column headings. So good practice with spreadsheets. This could easily be done in Excel, apart from the use of the function. So it's a really nice feature of the ClassPad. So we'll do a few things here. We'll just reduce the size of column A and B so we can see a bit more on the screen. We may want to change those sizes again, and we'll have distance there, and we'll have the last column of total. So I've got some column headings, something like that, and we might just move that a bit smaller. So we'll start off by saying time is 0, and for purposes of our problem we're going to put in some formula here. So in cell A3 we want it to be equal, so use the equal sign first. A2, so just tap in cell A2, plus 1/6, so we're just doing that particular feature. You can modify the cell a little bit more. Now to go up to a second, what we're going to do is then copy that formula down, edit, fill range, and we're going from A3 to A8. Okay, and we can see that column is now filled with those values. Now, in next cell, what we want to do here is we want to use our formula to calculate this initial speed, which will equal to v of A2. So it's whatever's in A2, calculate the velocity. So that's the initial velocity. And in cell B3 we're going to have equal to v of, well, it'll be A3, the next time interval. So that's at the end of the time interval, and it'll calculate the velocity for us there. Formula for distance, average speed times time. So we want equals, average speed will be the initial plus the final, all divided by 2. So we've put our formulas in there. And the total distance travelled, that's the average speed, sorry, we'll go back and edit this. That's the average speed, and we have to divide that by the time interval. Now, because I want that time interval to stay the same, I'm going to make that cell a $3, so it remains a fixed reference and doesn't change as we go down. That cell doesn't look correct. Average velocity divided by 2. Average speed times time. Not, we're not dividing, we have to multiply. So just using the multiply, and there we go. That's better. And total distance, we're just going to say, well, initially that's the total distance equal to the contents of that cell. Okay, so now these formulas, again, we need to copy down. Edit, fill range, B2 to B7, so we're not going all the way to the end, that will be sufficient. Tap OK, and we can see what's happening there. The same deal here, edit, fill range, C2 to C7, okay, and again, edit, fill, start again, edit, fill range, D2, colon, D7, okay, and the total. Now the total, we need a different formula here. We want this to equal what was travelled in the first second, our estimate thereof, plus what was travelled in the next second. Press enter. And now let's do and fill that column down to E7. Okay, so we've created that spreadsheet. Now what is really nice is that if we now go back into main and change our definition, such as doing something like this, come back into our spreadsheet, and we will find the values have been recalculated according to our new formula for the velocity. So we can change our function and explore what happens. There's some other nice things we can do with the spreadsheet. So for example, change the time interval, so we can make that possible. So a neat little way of doing that is we want to insert, come up to the top row, insert a column or two. So we might then say dt for delta t, there's a little bit of a heading, and then I might put in there 1 divided by 6, so here's my time interval. And then when I come down into here, rather than doing the 1 plus 6, what we can do is we can make that more general, plus, and I want it to be $B, $1, and update that formula, and something's gone wrong. Okay, function control P, no, that didn't work.